I get it, yeah. All right, everyone, we're going to get started. 1 second here. There we go. All right. I think most everyone has been here before, but if you haven't, there's a jar over there that says donations, and that's how Aaron gets paid. And I like for Aaron to get paid. I like when Aaron's happy. I like when he comes back, even if it's been 5 years. It's really good to see Aaron. I appreciate you coming back. Hopefully it's not 5 years next time, but we'll take what we can get. The pandemic doesn't count, all right. Let's see. Tomorrow over in Bishop Hill, there's a book fair, and it's a whole bunch of different authors, and Tom Akers is one of the artists. All sorts of different genres of books that they have written, and that starts at 10 o'clock over at the Bishop Hill Creative Commons, and then it goes all day long. At the end of it is going to be a small concert with some of the authors who also perform. So that's tomorrow. And then Sunday, over in Galva at Wiley Park, 6 o'clock, is Elizabeth Moen and Heather Newman and her band. And that's totally free, 6 o'clock. There's going to be a bunch of food vendors. You just bring your lawn chair and set up, and should be good. What else? Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Just wave to Shelby there as she passes by. Bathroom is inside through the screened-in porch, second door on the left. And I guess the last thing, we have a community play coming up, August 3rd. What time is that, Tom? 7:30 at the band show here in town. Tom and Huck, so Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn. It's a play on that, and I am in it. I got roped into being in it. So if you want to see me acting, that's where that's going to happen. The rest of the family's in it too, in some capacity, because when you have small children, there's no way to do anything without them, and so they're also in it. Yeah, you ready, Aaron? Awesome. All right, I'm going to get off here and let Aaron do his thing. I appreciate you all coming out. Thank you.
And this is my first tour since I got stranded in Belgium in March 2020. So great to be back at this thing. And fascinating to unpack stuff that I have not unpacked in 16 months and find out what works, what doesn't. The unfurling of a Nashville songwriter's life over the last 16 months has been pretty fascinating. Live streaming has saved me and kept the music happening for the last 16 months. But I prefer actual people interactions, so glad to be here. Thanks for coming. This is called Masterpiece, and it's a song about the masterpieces that we all are. How it takes all the colors of the canvas, every single one of us, to make the masterpiece. Everybody's painting a picture with every decision they make. Your life is a thing of such beauty, but all you notice are regrets and mistakes. You're a canvas full of colors bleeding into one another, yet you see yourself in monochrome. Just step back and let it hit you. You can see the bigger picture. You know you don't have to make it on your own. You're already so much more than you can see. You're a poem, you're a rhythm, you're a melody. You're the answer to eternal mysteries. You're a prophet, you're a dreamer, you're a visionary. When life has pulled you under, you're silenced by the thunder. You dance beneath the pouring rain. And when living makes it hard for you to breathe, just Just remember every moment that everybody's searching for something. It doesn't mean that anyone's lost. Can't you see that everyone's hurting? It's a feeling shared by all of us. Like a canvas full of colors bleeding into one another to remind us that we're not alone. Just step back and let it hit you. You can see the bigger picture. You know you don't have to make it on your own. You're already so much more than you can see. You're a poem, you're a rhythm, you're a melody. You're the answer to eternal mysteries. You're a prophet, you're a dreamer, you're a visionary. When life has pulled you under, you're silenced by the thunder. You dance beneath the pouring rain. And when living makes it hard for you to breathe, just remember every moment you're a masterpiece. We're all pictures in a gallery, hanging just like stars in the galaxy. We shine into infinity. You're already so much more than you can see. You're a poem, you're a rhythm, you're a melody. You're the answer to eternal mysteries. You're a prophet, you're a dreamer, you're a visionary. When life has pulled you under, you're silenced by the thunder. You dance beneath the pouring rain. And when living makes it hard for you to breathe, just remember every moment you're a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece. Thank you. I'm going to play a love song that I wrote for two neuroscientists. I was asked to write a song for their first dance. They're getting married at the Boston Museum of Science in the atrium, and as you walk into the atrium, there's a full-size T-Rex. And they made a big cummerbund and bow tie for the T-Rex. So this is about the mysteries of love through the lens of somebody who two people who spend their careers trying to influence how the brain and the emotions work. So one of them was trying to design better Alzheimer's drugs, and the other was trying to build better Parkinson's treatments. So the idea of falling in love when you spend the whole day trying to influence the thoughts and emotions of other people, I thought was pretty wild. This is about the science of love. The science of love. The biology of trust. The chemistry of you and me. The probability of us. There are times when I feel sure we got each other figured out. Know what this mystery's about. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. This experiment of us, my crooked to yours straight. We take two bodies made of stardust, fill them with courage and with faith. Then we stumble through the darkness, so certain and so proud, yeah, that we can figure this thing out. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. What kind of scientists are we to believe so eagerly, pulled by some force we cannot see, as if love was gravity? To feel this electricity, this force we cannot see, what shall we call this mystery? See how the city glows, all lit up by our fears and hopes. Out in the streets the traffic flows like atoms spinning in the dark, all ablaze with us, the particles and waves of us, the hopeful and the lonely hearts, they spin together in the dark. This experiment of us, it flickers in the night. We have discovered electricity. Now we shine with our own private light. We trust what we don't understand. Oh, what kind of scientists are we? Yeah, to believe so eagerly, pulled by some force we cannot see, as if love was gravity. To feel this electricity, this force we cannot see, what shall we call this mystery? I hope we never figure out what this mystery's about, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Thank you. So I was asked to come to Nebraska and make a stop along the way. This is my first tour out of Nashville. I run a charity in East Africa, which has been really interesting during a pandemic. I'm trying to ship donated instruments and funds from the States and Europe to these music programs that we've started in Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania. And we've got a fundraiser happening at a big theater in Nebraska. I'm excited. It is 6 years ago, I traveled to East Africa for 2 months and just became friends with musicians who were running music programs for kids in orphanages and refugee camps and art centers in the slums. And it is very intense. But it's a way to get kids off the street and engaged in anything, but especially in something that they can learn to express themselves. They can learn a marketable skill, and they can tell their story. I'm going to play a traditional Kenyan cowboy song, and this is in a language called Luo, which is the Luo people are on the western border of Kenya and the eastern border of Uganda, and they are cowboys. Their cows are their wealth. Like, money's fine, but you're judged by how many cows you got. And this is a song that's sung every evening. It starts to rain on the savannah, and that's the cue to bring the cows in and bring them into the boma, which is it's a circle of thorn bushes surrounding the village or surrounding your home to keep the lions out. This is the evening song then. The words literally are, hey kids, it's raining, go get the cows and come to bed. And I learned this just as a how do you do? It was a way to bring something when I came from America, some way to make a connection. This was a hit. Everybody in East Africa knows it, so they can sing along. And the kids would sing these beautiful harmonies. Usually I was banging on a Coke bottle, but here I got a piano. This is called Kothbiro, which means the rain is coming. Kothbiro, kerudo voketala. Bumimcha, Kothbiro, kerudo voketala. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah, ah, ah yeah, 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 ah yeah. Uma pomimcha kothbiru keruru kedala. Uma pomimcha kothbiru keruru kedala. Ah yeah, ah yeah, ah yeah, ah yeah, ah yeah. Ah yeah, 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 ah yeah. Yeah, you know tendoki. Un coro no chigaruna de kothbiro keruru vokedala. Toya inatendo gie on coro no chigaruna de kothbiro keruru vokedala. Uma pomimja kothbiro keruru vokedala. Uma pomimja kothbiro keruru vokedala. Ah yeah, 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 ah yeah. Oh yeah. And it's a country song, believe it or not. Country is really popular in Kenya for the strangest reason that there's a style of folk music there that's just a lot like country western, for whatever reason. So one of the biggest country markets in the world is Kenya. They especially like George Jones. Yeah, just in case. Yeah. There'll be a quiz later. I was here 5 years ago. Grateful to be back. This has been an amazing. What you've built and are still building has been amazing. It's crucial to have something in between the big cities. Singer-songwriters have a hard time just going from like Chicago to Dallas and calling it a tour. So this really is a make or break situation. I always liken a tour to a military campaign. You can't win the war, you can't win the Second World War without Guam and Hawaii, for instance. So this is either Guam or Hawaii today. Let's call it Hawaii. What's that? This could be Crete. These are the stepping stones that make these tours possible. It really is. It takes a ton of hard work and somewhere that maybe you've never heard of to build a tour. In Cambridge, it's been great to watch this grow and grow and grow. Yeah. Yeah. All your fault, John. Yeah. Yeah. This is called Believe. And it's a song about believing in what you can in the face of uncertainty. Maybe the only thing you can believe in is one person, but it's a place to start. So it's an anthem for uncertain times. Whoa, ho, ho. Whoa, ho, ho. Whoa, ho, ho. I don't believe in hope to see us through these times. I believe in here and now. You and I, your faith and mine. Well, brighter days will come, maybe so, but this I know. Today I see, I feel, I breathe, and in you I do believe. Believe in me. Believe in me. Believe in me. Here, believe in me now. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Whoa, ho, ho. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Whoa, ho, ho. Well, heaven, you're a thief, and still we call you friend. You take all we love away, and we grieve and grieve again. But we let each other go, we let each other leave. What else are we to do? What are we to believe? Believe in me, please. Believe in me, please. Believe in me. Here, believe in me now. Believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Oh, believe in me, yes. Believe in me. Believe in me, please. Believe in me, please. Believe in me. Believe in me. I put my trust in my kind. Yeah, my kind, my humankind. The skin we're in but do not own. This borrowed breath, this life on loan. And the sun, the moon, the sea. And in you I do believe. Once around the sun, these days roll into one you must never look back will only slow you down you step into the stream, but the stream has been and gone like faces in a crowd you may never see again. Believe in me, oh believe in me, believe in me, please, believe in me, oh believe in me. Believe in me, whoa, ho, 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 whoa, ho, ho, whoa, ho, ho, whoa, ho, ho. Thank you. I'm going to play a sunset song for you. A couple of sunset songs. This one got nominated for a Grammy last year, which is great. It didn't make the final cut, but it was still exciting. It feels like you're on the map, kind of like Cambridge. This is called Doves. I'm coming down like the sun into the water now. Oh, I am coming down like a dove into a world of of shells. Oh, I'm coming down like a dove. Oh, like a dove. Oh, I'm coming down like a dove. Oh, like a dove. Oh, if you catch me, I won't need to fall. Oh, if you catch me, I won't need to fall so far. 'Cause I see you now, holding your pain, drawn in the frown. And I do feel you now, like you're a part of me somehow. And I hear you now, holding your pain without a sound. Oh, well, I would be with you now. We could be smiling into the door. Oh, I'm coming down like a dove. Oh, like a dove. Oh, if you catch me, I won't need to fall. Oh, if you catch me, I won't need to fall so far. 'Cause I learned I can't fly. Oh, as I learned I can fall. I learned I can't fly. Oh, as I learned I can't fall. I learned I can fly. Oh, as I learned I can fall. I learned I can fly. Oh, as I learned I can fall. Oh, oh, so far, so far. I don't wanna fall so far, so far, so far. I don't wanna fall so far. Oh, well, I am coming down like the sun into the water now. Oh, I am coming down like a dove into a world of shells. Oh, I'm coming down like a dove. Oh, like a dove. Oh, I'm coming down like a dove. Oh, like a dove.
Thank you. Second Sunset song. This is a pandemic song. Oh, you'll get plenty of those. There is a flood of pandemic songs coming out, I suspect. I watched people just sit around and write songs in Nashville for the past year, waiting to go back out on tour. And it was the most fun they'd had in years. Just sit and write. That's all you could do. I co-wrote this with a Nashville songwriter named Tim Miles. He showed up to do a co-write, which is it's a Nashville code for working. There are people who just work 9 to 5 by going from house to house or studio to studio or publishing company to write. You clock in, you clock out for a 2 or a 3 hour session. You just move on to the next one. So I was on Tim's busy schedule. He showed up and I said, why don't you write a song about just letting it go for once, just letting the evening be. Whatever you're worried about, whatever you think you have to do, just drop it. The pandemic seemed to be an extended opportunity to do that. It was a chance for us to check ourselves and say, okay, what's really important? I grew up in Seattle, and Nashville is had not seen fireflies more than a handful of times in my life, and it was really exciting. At dusk, the fireflies just come out of the ground like reverse rain, or like sparks out of the grass by the hundreds. So this is about just kicking back on a porch like this, and watching the fireflies for a change, as opposed to getting one more thing done. This is called Fireflies Glow. Mine's been moving like a traffic jam. I feel like I'm running on empty. Been so focused on all of my plans to see you there in front of me. So honey, let's split that bottle of wine. For once we ain't got no place to go. Let's just sip that sweet sunshine. Watch it turn into the fireflies glow. Turn into the fireflies glow. Turn into the fireflies glow. So why don't we turn off the NPR? We worry and we wait and we don't get far. We worry and we wait all life long, but the wine's no good when we're dead and gone. So with the world keep it rolling, and I'm just gonna hold you tight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Do you remember a time when every hour was endless? We could count every star in the sky and laugh till we were breathless. Honey, I think we're out of the wine. Where did this evening go? I think it got lost, caught in your eyes, as I turn into the fireflies glow. Shining like the fireflies glow. Shining like the fireflies glow. I think I've still got some PBRs and worry and we wait and we go too far. If we worry and we wait all life long, and then one day you're dead and gone. So let the world keep it rolling, and I'm just gonna hold you tight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Life is like a bottle of wine, so much better when you take your time. So let's whistle with the wind to our favorite tune and raise a glass to the man in the moon. Let the world keep it rolling. Let the world keep it rolling on and on. Let the world keep it rolling, and I'm just gonna hold you tight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Tonight, 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 tonight. Thank you. John, do we take a food break at some point? A get to know each other break? All right, all right.
If you want to, yeah.
Dangerous proposition. Aaron's in charge. Who's I? Okay. Yeah. I'll do a couple more songs, and we'll take a break. And then convene for another short set as the sun goes down. I did grow up in Seattle. I'm used to the western wildfire haze that we've got here. It's a little uncanny to see it this far east. I recognize the color and the twin shadows. I'm sorry we sent it this far east. I'm used to the last 15 years being a lot of, in about August, you start to spend a lot of time inside, waiting for the air to clear again. I'm going to play, this is a Seattle song, a water song. This is called All the Waters of This World.
So we cry 'cause we're made of water, and its salt is our debt to the sweat of our fathers, and our mothers bled us, and to this light screaming, where blood tastes of metal, and tears make us rust. How could you love me? I ain't done nothing. My wounds are my prison. I'm suckling fear. Oh, woman, what can I do? Your heart has gone dry, and I can't get through. Oh, lover, go on and cry me all the waters of this world, and I'll row you home. You're a feather on the breath of your fear. You want trust, but you'll settle for safety. I just want you near. Let it fly, all your pride, your secrets, into the light, a startled dove. Let it rain on the desert of all your fevers and grieving. My love, how could you love me? I ain't done nothing. My wounds are my prison. I'm suckling fear. Oh, woman, what can I do? Your heart has gone dry, and I can't get through. Cry me all the waters of this world, and I'll row you home. Of your shame, the echo of us. I am most truly is what I am with you, but your heart has gone dry, and I can't get through. Oh, lover, go on and cry me all the waters of this world, and I'll row you home. Darling, but what can I do? Your heart has gone dry, and I can't get through. Oh, lover, go on and cry me all the waters of this world, and I'll row you home.
Do one more song, and then we'll take a 15-minute break. John, what happens in the break besides a line for the bathroom? Everybody know where the bathroom is? Anything I should mention first? Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. I have some. I just, thank you. What a relief. Thank you. It's my first display in 16 months. That's great to hear. Great. Excellent. I had 16 months to make merch. So nothing else going on. So one more song for you. This is called Coming of Age in Hard Times. I was trying to imagine what it's like to grow up in the middle of a pandemic. We're only going to find out about 20 years from now, once the kids have grown up. So here's to all of us navigating as best we could the strangest year, hopefully, of our lives. This is called Coming of Age in Hard Times. Shine a little light upon me now, and turn that light upon yourself. Turn those shadows inside out, and let those tears run on down. Hey, 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 we're coming of age in hard times. There's a world that you don't see, and one you see but don't believe. Let those fears go, let them lie. Kiss that darkness goodbye. Let some trust into your life. Feel your strength rise up inside. Hey, 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 a coming of age in hard times. There's a world where you belong. Let your dreams turn you around. We're afraid of our own fear. We're stuck here in the mud. We're staring at the stars. We're afraid of our own fear. We're stuck here in the mud. We're staring at the stars. Shine a little light upon me now, and turn that light upon yourself. Hey, 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 a coming of age in hard times. Find your way when you are young, with your dreams to guide you on. Coming of age in hard times. Coming of age in hard times. There's a world where you belong. Right. Thank you. So we'll take a short break and see you in 15 minutes. Oh yeah, this is it's a goat toenail ankle shaker. Yeah. No goats were harmed in the making of this shaker. Actually, maybe they were. It's from Ecuador. So it's one of those situations where every part of the goat gets used, you know? Yeah, yeah. I'm going to play this is a freedom song. It really came in handy during the pandemic. I was live streaming several times a week, and people from Honolulu to Nairobi were tuning in. It was wonderful to see all the touring disappear, and then to be buoyed by this opportunity to get on Zoom or Facebook Live or Twitch or YouTube and connect. Pretty amazing. And almost every week somebody would request this song. It's called Wingless Bird, and it's about a bird that was born without wings. So the question I asked with this song was, what does freedom look like for the bird that doesn't have wings? You can open the door of the cage, and the bird can't fly away. It's a story about 4 birds, and 3 of them are lucky enough to have wings, and so eager to escape the cage, and the other doesn't have the option. So I was thinking of, when I wrote this, about Nelson Mandela. He was in prison for 27 years, a political prisoner, and his first words when he was released from prison were, "I was never a prisoner." Meaning they couldn't make me a prisoner. They could put me in prison. That's different. This is the story of a wingless bird. She lived with 3 ordinary birds in a cage, so I heard. Her home was the floor of the cage, and theirs high on their perch. But they would sing of the wonders they'd seen and they'd heard, and the wingless ones saw the wide world through their words. The cage was their prison, freedom was their fate. So the wingless one listened as the others' plans were made. One day the cage was open and the first bird escaped. He flew around the house, that he was caught, his dreams betrayed. And that was the end of the first bird's escapade. And isn't it strange how in this day and age we lock up our hearts like birds in a cage? The second bird waited till the moment was right, fled the cage out the front door and into the night, into the wide open sky. Oh, the sweet gift of flight. He flew back to get his friends. Oh, follow me, I'll be your guide. That's when he hit the window, broke his wings and his pride. The third bird he watched as this all went on. He said, escape is impossible, I'll stay here, but I'm gone. So his body remained, but his heart was withdrawn. He just sat on his perch, and he never sang his songs. And no desire, no fear touched him from that moment on. And isn't it strange how in this day and age we lock up our hearts like birds in a cage? Well, the cats knocked the lid off the cage last night. One bird got eaten, the others died of fright. Except for the wingless one, yeah, she was alright. She stayed calm, though she knew she couldn't fly, couldn't fight. She just stood in the corner and stayed out of sight. And isn't it strange how in this day and age we lock up our hearts like birds in a cage? The fourth bird, the wingless bird, never tried to flee. So the floor of the cage was all she'd ever see. She said, isn't it strange how in this day and age we rail against our lives like we're birds in a cage? I'm a wingless bird, that's all I'll ever be. And the cats may come hunting,
but they'll never find me, 'cause I may live in this cage, but my soul flies free.
Thank you. I knew the pandemic was getting serious when people started getting tattoos of my lyrics, and that was one of them. That is a commitment. There's an animated, I made an animated a cartoon for that music video on YouTube. Started getting pictures from fans far away with the bird on their biceps. Pretty great. I'm going to play a song that I wrote at the very beginning of the pandemic that I've never played live, and I'd be excited to play it for you. This is, I was stranded in Belgium. I tour Europe a lot. I went over there in March, the beginning of the pandemic. I had 43 gigs. I ended up playing 3 of them. I walked into a bar in Belgium, and I was going to play that night, and they said, "I'm sorry, Mr. English, but 45 minutes ago, the government said we have to shut down everywhere in the country." So it was intense, and yet the uncertainty, I don't know if you remember, we had no idea how long it would last. So I stuck around in Europe just hanging at friends' houses thinking, well, a couple of weeks. Well, maybe a month. I can still play those gigs next month. Maybe the month after that. Eventually, the State Department said, no, seriously, Americans, if you ever want to come back home, maybe you should now. It took about 2 weeks for them to get to that point. Like, maybe we're going to close our borders to keep that virus out, so come on back. So I bought a way too expensive ticket on short notice and flew back through Newark and scrambled to try to find a connecting flight, because all the flight, you could get to Newark at least. They had it was one of 6 American airports that were accepting internationals. We got off the plane, and there were a dozen people in hazmat suits. They have the temperature guns, and they aimed that at your head, handed you paperwork, threw away the pen when you were done with it. Amazing. This was the beginning of the pandemic. It was like the scene from E.T., where the scientists are invading the house. So I got into Newark, and then I had to figure out how to get out of it. And I sat around in the airport. Well, cancellations happened for a couple of days. And I met this Russian ballroom dancer who had just flown from St. Petersburg, Russia. She was on her way to St. Petersburg, Florida. Randomly enough, that's where she lived. But she professionally ballroom danced for a living. But she needed to go to L.A. first to pick up all of her worldly belongings and drive them across the country to St. Petersburg, Florida. So I imagined this journey at the beginning of the pandemic where America was really shut down for a while. It was pretty spectacular. Like everything stopped. I imagined her driving along Interstate 10, which goes along the bottom of the states, in silence to get back home. So this is called Silent America.
Well, the lights are all out at the Hollywood Bowl, and the highways are as empty as Los Angeles' soul, as the sunrise repaints the San Gabriels in gold. My silent America. Past El Paso, the pump jacks are quiet and still. An army of giants asleep on the hills. I'm alone in the world in a West Texas motel. My silent America. It's just me and the quiet out here, and the stars are so close and so clear, and the air is so clean makes you dizzy to breathe in my silent America. In New Orleans, the hustlers have given up the track. Those Bourbon Street boys, they ain't coming back. As the miles roll behind me in a ribbon of black, my silent America. It's just me and the quiet out here, and the stars are so close and so clear, and the air is so clean, makes you dizzy to breathe in my silent America. And every moment's a lifetime, every hour's an eternity, and the moon seems surprised to be rising over my silent America. No trucks at the truck stop, no planes in the air. As I cross into Florida, the moon disappears, and I'm guessing that Christmas is canceled this year. My silent America. My silent America. My silent America. Thank you. Do you remember that? That was like a year ago. It does. Fortunately, it feels like a lifetime. I'm going to play another Seattle song. I grew up in the Puget Sound, which is one of the world's largest bays. Seattle isn't on the ocean. It takes you hours to get to the ocean. There's this enormous bay where like 3/5 of the population of Washington State live. And it's gorgeous. And it's surrounded by mountains. It's stunning. I grew up on the water, and because it's not the ocean, the waves come in and they get trapped in these bays, and it can be very dangerous to sail. The graveyard of the Pacific is right there. They call it that for a reason. Ships get caught in these riptides. They end up on the rocks because the waves aren't predictable. They instead of going in, out, they go in, out, in, out. It reminded me of African rhythms. So I started writing these water songs with these African rhythms. In most African music, you have what are called polyrhythms. So you got a 2, and then somebody on top is playing a 3 over the top, and somebody is playing a 9 over the top. And it's irresistible, and you can't quite tell where the downbeat is, and you don't care. So I started, it occurred to me that the water of the Puget Sound is a lot like that. It isn't predictable. It's restless. This is a love song. It's called Deep Blue Quiet Places, and all the metaphors are of the sea. If he is the sun and she is the sea in which he bathes, from every dawn to every dusk of every day. If she is the boat and he is the breath that fills the gale, the crest and fall of trust and thrall, the billowing sail. If he is the sextant, she is the stars by which he guides, from slumbering sea to port at every eventide. If she is the gull and he is the sanguine song she cries, a wistful wordless question posed to sea and sky. If he is the halcyon calm, then she's a summer storm, the drowns him in her furious skin, hungry, wild, and warm. Ripples in the deep blue quiet places of our hearts, tumbling in the deep blue quiet places of our hearts. Every ocean has its depths that we could never hope to chart. It is here that we have anchored every secret of our hearts. If he is the stream and she is the tale, as babbling tells, the dream of every desert, every empty well. If she is the cliffs and he is the waves that shatter here, steal away the stone in hopes of creeping near. True unity is impossible, we understand, but this doesn't stop the sea and shore from mingling in the sand. The wonder of the current, the winding of the eel, whale song to siren's call, to sunken soul, to sailors reel, to the whisper of the tide. They speak of mystery so far below, the ebb and flow so deep within the human heart, where only love can go, the reefs and wrecks where all our treasures hide. Ripples in the deep blue quiet places of our hearts, tumbling in the deep blue quiet places of our hearts. Every ocean has its depths that we could never hope to chart. It is here that we have anchored every secret of our hearts. Banishing breath they enter the waves, for only the drowned can be saved. The weight of their trust shall carry them swift, so deep below the ebb and flow in their hearts' dark drift. Thank you. I live in Nashville, and you can imagine some of my songs are an odd fit. Not country songs. And country's in 4/4, always. So I played this song at, there are these wonderful songwriter rounds, hundreds of them going on every night in Nashville, or in the thereabouts. Songwriters sharing songs, hoping there's a publisher in the audience, hoping they can meet a new co-writer. And oftentimes the guy who's running sound is a grizzled old country vet running that mixing board, and oftentimes he'll have his guitar with him, and he'll just solo over the songs. He got to this song, and he was like, whoo. And he held back for a couple of minutes, and then he found his way in. Country is infamously, I wouldn't call it conservative, it's just like, this is, you know exactly where the beat is at all times. Hats off to this, you know, there's like David Crosby looking guy who's just like, whoa, okay. Seattle boy. Yes. They just arrived a couple of days ago in Nashville. Have they been? For a week or so, yeah. Okay. I did grow up in Seattle, so one day last week, yeah, I looked out the window. I was like, what is this? I thought maybe the bees were swarming, but they don't do that in July. A swarm of, my first swarm of cicadas. Beautiful and eerie. We have swarms of mountain lions and grizzly bears in the West.
play a few more songs for you. Three more songs, and then we'll call it call me the main act of the Cicadas, I guess. This is called The Heart. And it's about all the things you know you shouldn't be doing and you're going to stop tomorrow. One more lie I can tell to myself. I gotta quit for one last hit, then I can stop it. Ooh, that's right, it's the last time. I play my games, drawing lines in the sand. Oh, I know I should let go, but it ain't over. Ooh, all the blame bears your name. But there's no denying the heart wants what it wants. The heart wants what it wants. You've had enough to call your bluff, you still call it love. Ooh, you say you'll walk away, but there's no denying the heart wants what it wants. 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 Ooh, ooh. Oh, I know I should let go, but it ain't over. The heart wants what it wants. The heart wants what it wants. Ooh. Thank you. I'm going to play a strange song for you. Yes. It's in English and Fijian. Not exactly radio hit material. So I done a lot of world traveling, and that shows up in the music a lot. It's a lot of fun to try to find the common ground between people with very different musical languages. Sometimes it's impossible. That's what's so exciting about it, that somebody who was trained in Romania or Fiji or Brazil, to try to find that window of common ground where you can find a common groove or melody. I lived in a little fishing village in Fiji for a time, and the most important person in the village is not the chief. It's the fisherman, the best fisherman. Usually the old man. He knows all the tricks. Without him, you starve. So he trumps the chief. In this village, the old fisherman's name was Aaron, which in Fijian was Aroni. So while I lived there, I became little Aroni, and he was big Aroni. If you know any Fijians, they're all 6'8". A couple of times a week, you go out into the lagoon to fish for to feed the entire village. So it's a very important mission. You got to come back with that boat loaded, and he picks the young men kind of like you'd pick your varsity football team. It is the coolest thing you could possibly be asked to do. So every young man wants to be asked. For some reason, he picked me. I was helpless and hopeless as a fisherman, but I got to go out in the boat. You'd start up the motor, and this boat full of massive young men would wind through the mangrove swamp, and there'd be bats flying overhead and snakes swimming by in the water. And it would open up. The mangrove would open up into this lagoon at low tide. And at low tide, the the reef surrounds the lagoon. So all these fish and lobsters and octopus are trapped. Everybody climbs out of the boat, and the water comes up to their knees, and they have these sharpened metal sticks as spears. And you wander around the lagoon away from the boat for a while, just trying to spear. And if you know anything about how water distorts your vision, I had no success at all, because the fish is actually right here, and I'm completely useless. So I wandered farther and farther from the boat looking for fish, and eventually I heard, "Aroni, Aroni, come here, come now, quickly." The water was coming in, the tide was rising, and when the tide rises, the sharks can get over the reef, and you're in danger of becoming the hunted. So I raced back to the boat, didn't catch anything, but the boat was full of these rainbow-colored angry lobsters and blowfish. It was amazing. The boat puttered back to the village, and then everybody feasted, with coconut milk and taro root and sweet potato. On the way back, they had these cans full of rocks, like a Sprite can. And a bat flew overhead, and one of the guys went, whoosh, tossed it up in the air, and nailed the bat. The can and the bat floated. It fell to the water and floated, and we picked him up and went on our way. So roast bat was part of the cuisine. Yeah, amazing. I did not try the bat. I wasn't invited. So I came back to Seattle after this trip, and I got a letter that said that on my birthday that year, Big Aroni had died of a heart attack. So I wrote this song for him. I was imagining, when you're really good at something, you're really passionate about something, there's another, you get to keep doing that thing. Hopefully forever. So it only seems just that when you die, you get to do the thing that you were the best at and loved. So this is a story of the night he died. Instead of dying quietly in his sleep, a big storm sweeps in off the Pacific, and if you've ever been to Hawaii, you probably know what I'm talking about. Just boom, out of the sky, sheets of rain. He wakes up, and he hoists the sail on his sailboat, and he rides the rain up into the clouds, and he keeps on fishing forever. I said it was a strange song. The chorus is in Fijian, or at least I hope it's in Fijian, because I used a Blue Planet guidebook. So hopefully it's reasonable Fijian. But I'm singing, Aroni, where are you going? Storm, where do you come from? Good night, goodbye, Aroni. Storm, where do you come from? This is called Sea of Nectar.
Stardust on window and walls marks the passage of the soul from this house. From this house. Sheets of rain, reach in vain, hunger's wrong, thunder song, pierce the sky with a billion bright exclamations, spinning in a fierce intoxication. No one ever know his breath's destination. Isa osala ko kive, eroni storm, onina ko maive, isale, nisamote mode, eroni storm, onina ko maive, sea of nectar, sea of honey, sea of tranquility. Dreamers will doubt of their slumbers, and time will take its own. Stardust on window and walls marks the passage of a soul from this house. From this house. Tanoa, be the sky, Takia, be the moon, learn to fly. For when a man has grown so old and wise, the truth relies on his advice. He knows his time is short, his dream is done. Isa osalla ko kive eroni stormonina ko maive isa leni samote mode eroni stormonina ko maive sea of nectar, sea of honey, sea of tranquility. Dreamers will doubt of their slumbers and time will take its own. Osalla ko kive eroni stormonina ko maive isa leni samote mode eroni stormonina ko maive isa osalla ko kive eroni stormonina ko maive isa leni samote mode eroni stormonina ko maive isa osalla ko kive eroni stormonina ko maive isa leni samote mode eroni stormonina ko maive. Mercy pleads, lele, pale moon bleeds, lele, starry-eyed yearns, lele, silence burns, lele, to return to feed some sweet breath that stirs a restless sea desperately in us all. To feed some sweet need in us all. To feed some sweet need in us all. To feed some sweet need in us all.
Thank you. Somebody stopped by and rolled down their window in the middle of that song. Like, of all the songs to just sort of show up. Like, would I like this? Oh, I have no idea. Like, I heard Fijian. This is perfect on the album. We've got crickets in the background for this song. This is called Lullaby. It's a good night song.
Love is love. Time is time. Impossible to define. Past is past. Line for line. And it's getting so hard to find. Oh, which side is mine? And when I cannot hold you, when I cannot feel you, when I cannot hear you cry, oh, I'll sing you to sleep. I'll sing you to sleep. I'll sing you to sleep. Along the high, along the high, along the high. Lost my will, lost my power, and I seem to get up to fall down. Know how. All I know is now. All I know is now. And if you need to leave me, if it's all collapsing, let your tired body down, and I'll sing you to sleep. I'll sing you to sleep. I'll sing you to sleep. A lullaby, a lullaby, a lullaby. I'll sing you to sleep. 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 I'll sing a lullaby. I'll sing a lullaby.
Thank you very much, guys. And thank you, John, for your wizardry here. Not just tonight, but he's already hundreds of shows a year, this guy, because he loves this community. Thank you. Yeah. My pleasure. We got fireflies now. Oh, yeah? One more song. All right. Okay. You got it. This is called The Story of Us.
How would you tell the story of us? The promises broken, the dreams left to rust, the bridges on fire, we built them with trust. That's how you tell it, the story of us. We call it love, but it feels like a war. I don't mind the fighting, I just don't know what for. You talk of leaving, but where would you go? The places you remember disappeared long ago. Our hearts will break, we patch them back up. With these patchwork sails, we steer ourselves through the story of us. Magnolia perfume, the moon on the water. The starting is easy, the endings are harder. Sparks from the fire, they disappear in the stars. That's how you tell it, that's how we are. Our hearts will break, we patch them back up. With these patchwork sails, we steer ourselves through the story of us. The damned and the damaged, making love in the dust. Hell yes, that's the beautiful mess we call the story of us. The damned and the damaged, making love in the dust. Hell yes, that's the beautiful mess we call the story of us. That's all the story of us. Our pleasure. Thank you, guys. Honored to play for you. Nothing less than an honor to be back playing for you in the flesh. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, guys. Yeah.